Billions of pool players have wondered what it is, and I'm going to tell you what it is.
You gonna trim it all off?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave an inch at the top.
Damn.
Just get it real short like yours.
Hell yeah.
That's where I went to get my hair cut when they closed the other barber shop I go to.
Yeah.
He was a big suit.
He's pretty cool, man. They see real people.
Yeah, you gotta get busy.
Let's go.
When I was a teenager, I used to like to cut school and go hang out with the Philadelphia Italian mob who hung out in the pool halls throughout South Philly. And it was there that I saw my first real pool player, but I didn't really know what was going on when I first saw him. I only knew that the place got real quiet when he walked in, and it got real loud again when he walked out. And you guys who really know your pool history and stuff know what I'm talking about. He's from Connecticut. I'll tell you by the end of this video. But in '76, he started winning a couple big tournaments and made a name for himself. And this was right before he started doing that. So he walks in by himself. He gets a table and starts hitting balls by himself and plays for an hour by himself. And then the owner of the place comes in and he goes to him and they start talking. And the guy that was running the place came over and all three of them were talking. And then the owner left and the player started hitting balls again, and he did that for about an hour. Then he left by himself, and then the place got real loud and started talking. So I knew something was going on. I just, you know, I was a kid. I didn't know. And then I started putting the pieces together, and saying, okay, well, he's supposed to be this big shot at the pool. Well, what does he have that guy over there, who I thought was the best player in there, doesn't have? You know, how could there be that much difference here? You know, what makes that guy so special? And a lot of people have asked that same damn question, and I mean billions and billions over the years. What is good, and what makes good, or great? And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And of course, all you logical thinkers out there are probably thinking, duh, it's just better. But the answer to this question is not as apparent as you might think. If you stick with pool long enough, you're going to hit a crossroad. And you're going to realize on that day that you don't have any opponents. Your biggest opponent is you. And perhaps the table itself. The game itself. So, are you okay with being alone? Or are you the type of person who always needs people and friends and family around? Because pool is custom made for the loner. And it's part of it. It's a lonely man's game. And the next part of that question is, are you okay with never feeling good enough? But I know your story. You and your friends found some arcade and you took up a love for the game that your friends didn't have. And one thing led to another, and suddenly they call you a pool player, right? And then eventually you find a big boy pool room that you're comfortable in, and you go and you hang out there by yourself. And you work on this game that you so love to play. And you're comfortable there, and you know, no one treats you any different than anybody else there. And you get to know some people, and you get to make some friends, but you're always walking in the damn door by yourself. So if you like the idea of never being dependent on anyone and going at things alone, here you are. This is your sport. Yep. It's you against the world, Scooby. And no, being a loner is not the key. Bear with me, man. Don't be jumping ahead, dude. And little by little you found out who the best player that goes in there is. And it just so happens that he's a loner just like you. Just like you. So yeah, you sit and you watch him play, and over the years you've seen him play a million times. And somewhere along the line, you've decided you need a lot of work if you're ever going to be as good as him. So that's what you do, you work on it, and you hang out there for years. And that's the level you want to be on. And you're not going to be happy until you're on that level. So if you have any commitment, I mean, that's your goal, right? And so if you really stick with it and really work hard at it, you meet that goal. And at that point, you're going to start getting out and about because now you think you're a good player. And they'll throw you right into a trap and tell you where all the really good players are, and you'll go there, and you're going to find out real quick that a great pool player isn't what you thought it was. You're gonna find a whole new world and a whole new level of pool, and you're gonna find a new pool room for yourself too. And the same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna hang out there for years and years and years trying to compete with these guys and working on your game, watching all my videos and learning a whole lot, and doing everything in your power to excel your progress. You go from there to playing all your local shortstops, and that just depends on how big of a city that you live in. To becoming the local shortstop, and then you go from there to playing the occasional road guy or even late to the other shortstops. And then the next level would be becoming the road guy. And now you're the guy walking outdoors by himself. See, with each new level that you get to, you leave more, people behind. Because no one relates to you. No one's at this, no one understands. I mean, they're normal people. You're not. They have lives, they have jobs, they have, family. They're not there. What do you want them to do? Sit there and watch you 24/7? So, it's from the road guy to pro, and even, you see, this is the saddest part of this lifestyle, is you never feel good enough. There's never a day where you throw up your arms and say, I'm the best ever. And it's because you're always comparing yourself. When I get this good, I'll be this. And when I get this good, I'll be this. And I want to try real hard to get that good. And just, as said, it just gets more and more lonely. Now, if you're, I don't get lonely. I can always keep myself occupied. And if you're that type of person where you don't really need or even, I don't want to say I don't like people, I do. When I see the best of them, it's usually I'm seeing the worst of them. And even when you're a pro and you're winning the U.S. Open, it's like, yeah, but I'm not as good as Efren, and I got out of line on that 3-ball in the 7th game, and that's how you're always striving to get better and better, and that's what got you here. And that's why these guys all look miserable. That's the truth of the matter. They all feel not good enough because they're all well aware that they're not the best pool player ever. And I'm not so sure it stops when they are the best pool player ever. I mean, they're striving for something, right? So yeah, and you know, it's probably like that in a lot of solo sports like tennis, golf. Like you never get to that fulfilled thing because you're always striving for more. The player that I saw before hitting pro, in between road guy and pro, that was Larry Lascotti. Back somewhere in the mid-70s. Right before he just crashes through. I guess he got tired of walking in the door and, you know, being told that nobody wants anything to do with you, buddy. He was that good. He was that good, but you could see in his eyes that he had his soul knocked around a little bit, put it that way. It's a lot like money. If you have $1 million, you're rich compared to the guy who's broke. But you're broke compared to the guy who has $100 million. So you change your goal to $100 million. Or you just, you know, learn to be satisfied with what you have. It's the same exact thing, except the richer that you get, the more people you have around you. And it's not like that with pool. You know, for some people, they get a taste of a little bit of money, and it doesn't do much of anything except make them greedy for more money. You know, so you have to take on that mentality. If you really, really, truly want to take your pool game to the top, not about money, but about great pool. You came to my videos for a reason, and if your reason is because you really, really want to be great at this, you should know what you're in for without anyone bullshitting you or guessing. I don't think this personality type can be molded. I think it's something you're born with. If your dream when you're beginning or in your first couple of years is to run a 2-pack of 9-ball with the brakes, and you find yourself suddenly running a 2-pack, there's two things that can happen there. You're either going to celebrate and be proud of yourself, or you're going to stand there and wonder why the hell you didn't run a 3-pack. And the same thing happens when you run a 5-pack. The dream, the goal, suddenly, is accomplished, and it goes away with the click of your fingers. It's done. And so now you're just kicking yourself in the ass for not running a 6-pack and trying to figure out what went wrong instead of, celebrating what went right. And then you have